Hey everybody, it's Moira Kucaba. Oh my gosh, my phone's dying. Craig will kill me, but I think I got it going on now. I think I got my phone plugged in. I'm not in the best lighting in the world, but I am here to talk to you guys about Team Cup. I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes to get on. So tell me if you're on, tell me if you can hear me, because my internet connection wasn't working in the other room, so I had to come in here. I'm right next to the router, hopefully plugged in, everything will go well. So let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm excited to talk to you guys today, really, really excited. Anybody? I don't see any comments. Awesome. Thanks, Melissa. Great to see you. Awesome. Hey, John! Oh my gosh, you're here. How fun. Okay, so you guys, just to give you a little background, I have been coaching for just 2 years, and let's see, Team Together Rising, my amazing team, I love them so dearly. We are ranked number 9 right now in the company. I spoke at Summit, so you might have seen our coach panel. I was so blessed to be able to have the opportunity to present on a panel with Ruth Schroner and Molly. I don't know how you say Molly's last name. But that's why you might be seeing a familiar face here. So 2 years. So 2 years we've been in the business. So I've been in some Team Cups, and I kind of want to give you the background of why I think I've had a successful Team Cup, but really the impact it's made on my business. So what happened was 2 years ago, I had, as I said at Summit, I watched Summit live stream 2 years ago. I just hadn't made a decision to give this a go yet. And then in July at one point, I made that pivotal life decision to really just jump in with everything. And so August was Team Cup, right? And so I was hearing this, I was literally like 3 weeks into the business, had no idea what Team Cup was, sounded like fun, but I also kept hearing things like, you know, take initiative in your business. It doesn't matter if you don't know what Team Cup is. It doesn't matter if you're a brand new coach and you don't know what you're doing, get on a team. So I reached out to my team and just said, hey, I'm available, somebody pick me, and got on a Team Cup team. And what happened was, when I say I had kind of my toe in the business, I had hit Success Club 5 in April, May, and June, and then July started to work the business, and so really dove in July, and then August, right before Team Cup. So I guess that year we had a Super Saturday at the end of July, post-Summit. Yep, that all makes sense. And so I was sitting there thinking that, like, having hit Success Club 5, hi Denise, I felt like Success Club 5 was really hard those first few months. I felt like, of course, looking back, it's kind of funny, I felt like I was doing everything. I felt like I was talking to all the people. I felt like I was doing all the things, which comparatively now, I realize I was probably doing about 5% of what I do now, right? And I just felt like Success Club 5, like the bar was set for me at Success Club 5. And I felt like, oh, I just got to get to that bar every month. Like I got to get to that bar. I got to get those 3 people. I got to squeak those 3 people out. And what happened is I went to Super Saturday. And the corporate video that was shown that day was about Team Cup that was coming up. And again, this was the first time I'd heard of it. I was like, what is this? What's Team Cup? And there was a coach that shared about her story with Team Cup, and she had won the previous Team Cup, or one of the cups. And she was just sharing about the impact of the people that she was able to reach, because she really put her pedal to the metal. And she really did things differently, and she just went after it. And I remember the screenshot, because I was still very skeptical of Beachbody at this point. And I remember there was a screenshot of her back office, and I thought to myself, well, she can't be lying, because there's her back office. And because I still thought some people were lying about all this. And her Success Club points for Team Cup were 143. Now, I know that a lot of people would be, that would actually kind of disengage somebody, and somebody would think like, well, I can't do that. That's ridiculous. I don't know what it was, but for me, I saw the potential. I saw what some other coaches were doing, and I thought to myself, I bet she's not the only person in the network that's hitting a number like that. I thought everybody just hit Success Club 5 or 10. And I was blown away. I was like, holy shit. This is insane. Like, insane. And then I thought, okay, so she helped 70 some people, right, to get on a program, and she brought 70 some people through a challenge group, which is a lot of people, which is a whole heck of a lot of work. But I also knew, because I always, instead of like looking kind of the microscope going into like this one name on the list and this one person saying no, and it seems so hard when you're looking at your business really closely, whenever I feel anxiety or stress around I'm not going to be able to do it, I pull back and I think, Moira, there are 300 million people in this country, just this country, suffering from obesity that need your help. That's not, and I've probably only worked with like, I can count on one hand people struggling with true obesity. So I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people that aren't even in that category. So if there's 300 million people in that category, then there's several other million people that just want my help. So let's say there's just, on the low end, 600, half a million, or 500 million. Let's just say that. Do you think it's that hard to find 20 of them or 30 of them? I don't think so. Like, that does not seem that hard, people. And this is one thing I always tell my team when they're like, I can't do it. I always tell them, because this is a game I play with myself. If I was to tell you that I would give you $1 million at the end of the month to find 25 people and get them started on their health and fitness journey, would you do it? Would you do it? I can guarantee you every single 80, 88, 90 people that are listening to this call right now, if there was $1 million at the end of the month of August for 25 people, you would all hit Success Club 50. So that's what you got to be thinking. You got to be thinking, what would I do? Well, I got to think outside the box. What would I do if that was the prize? Because you guys, that is what is the potential for us with this business. It is the opportunity of a freaking lifetime. And so what I want to do today, sorry, I get really excited about this stuff, and I'm holding my phone because it's plugged in. But what I want to do is I want to give you 4 tips, okay? So I came back from that Team Cup, and let me tell you, having hit Success Club 5, Success Club 5, Success Club 5, saw what was the potential and just raised my expectations of myself, and I hit Success Club 49. Success Club 49 that next month. And my eyes were opened up to what I could do and what was possible. And so, so what I want you to do is go big. That's tip number 1. Go big. Do not. So here's the hilarious part. I wrote my notes out for this, and then I clicked on Amy's video yesterday, and Amy is one of my upline coaches and dear friend, so I adore her. And I love, because her and I are both obviously highly competitive people, and I love that she said up it by 10, and I was like, oh, that's hilarious, because in my notes I said double it. So I'm gonna up Amy, and I'm gonna say double your personal best. So this is the thing. I'm playing at the same level that my brand new coaches are playing. If I've had somebody get 2 or 4 points on the board and I'm asking them to hit 10 and they think, oh, that is so hard, and they're sweating bullets and they have anxiety around it, guess what? I have the exact same anxiety around myself, holding myself to the standard of SC 100. It makes me want to throw up. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it, and I've reached out to a couple of coaches of mine and said, let's do SC 100 in August. Why not? We can do it. I know if we can do 50 or 60, we can do 100. And so double your personal best, because you're worth it. But more importantly, my hand's like shaking. I'm getting so emotional. But more importantly, the people in this world need you. They need you. And that's what allows me to get over myself and work my butt off, is other people. I won't always do it for me, so you've got to find out what motivates you. And that's not the best thing in the world that I won't do it for me, but I'll do it for you. I'll do it for the person that's out there that's struggling like I was, that was broken and needed somebody to reach out and help me and believe in me when I didn't believe in myself. So I'm telling you, you can do it. I will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. So go big and do that for your team. Hold them to a higher standard. Believe in them when they don't believe in themselves. If you have a coach that thinks I can't do this, it's too hard, I'm never going to be able to hit SC 10 or 20 or 30, let them know over and over and over again how much you believe in them. Because that's what's gotten me to where I am. My coach Meredith, Amy, those girls, they kept my team. I can remember my team totally saying over and over and over and over again that they thought we would be top 10. And by the 50th time they said it, I thought, do you guys really think that? Like, and they were like, yes, Moira. And I was like, oh my God, I think these girls actually think we could be a top 10 team. And so they had to believe it before I believed it. And I came to believe it. So believe in your teams. Okay, so tip number 2. This is huge, 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 huge. Think about groups. Have every single person. So what I'm holding my team is to every single day, and this is our, what do Carl call them? Donuts? This is my donut? That doesn't sound right, but I think it's right, obviously. This is my donut once a day, and it will be continuing past Team Cup. I am inviting or starting a conversation with one person every single day before I do anything else that is connected to a club, an office, an organization, a company, a neighborhood, something. Because you guys, SC 100 for me, to find 50 individuals, and I probably have like go back and forth 20 times with every single individual before we get them like, locked and loaded. That's like, holy crap. I don't know if I can do that. But guess what I can do? I have already targeted like 12 companies this week. Targeted sounds not like the best word. I literally just called one of my friends shaking because I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about your husband's company. This would be so perfect. They're totally into health and wellness. They would be all over this. So the wheels are turning all over the place right now in Charleston, South Carolina about bringing this program into offices. I can remember the first time I did this, it was really small. If you're wondering about the nuts and bolts behind this, I called one of my friends who owns an architecture office over on an island, really small, a small company. There's maybe 10 to 12 employees, including like admins and stuff. And I was like, hey, Steve, I've got this program. I think your office would love it. I think it'd be amazing. I think it'd be so great for camaraderie. And, it was just I just knew that he would love it because he was into that. And I had done a lot of stuff with their office in the past. And so he's like, sure, Moira, come on over on our lunch break. So I went over there with my Vitamix and I whipped up some Shakeology. And when I start to talk about this program and the change that it had in my life and my family's life, I get so excited that everybody wants to do it. And then the cool thing was, in that meeting, they were like, well, I really want to do this, but like, I think my wife will want to do it with me. I'm like, 100%, bring your wife on board. So it brought family into the office space. But think about if you got an office that had 25, 30, 35, 40 people that signed up. Think about that. Now, don't just talk to one company or one friend. I'm challenging you to do it every single day for the next 35 days. And guess what? Those seeds that you plant, what if one of those offices over the next 12 months calls you back? Or you follow up, because you really need to be following up. Follow up. What if you got one office on board every single month? That would transform your business. Transform your business. All right, so think groups. Think about your neighborhood. Everybody's got a Facebook group. Your neighborhood, clubs that you're a part of, sororities, just anything. There is something to be said about a group that already exists that comes on board and does this together. It's magical. The third thing I will say is just kind of some logistics a little bit behind this, and this is probably goes without saying, but maybe it doesn't to a lot of new coaches that are out there. I had a Zoom call with my team on this past Tuesday, and we just brainstormed. I was like, I'll bring my ideas to the table, but I want to hear all yours. I want to hear how you're feeling. My team is pushing. So I will backpedal just a little bit and say that when I invited people to be on my team, I told them my expectations, and I've done this differently every time. So like last Team Cup in the spring, I had 4 brand new coaches that I just wanted to hit Success Club 5 or 10. And then I just wanted to teach them, their business activity tracker and consistency and things like that. So there's always a different objective and a different path every Team Cup that I do. This Team Cup, we're in it to win it. And so when I invited these girls, I told them the ridiculously high expectations that I had of them. And I told them that there were going to be times if they committed to this that they were probably going to be, up against the wall and fall apart, and we would put them back together. And so you've got to let your team know your expectations. Don't create a team with somebody that, just wants to devote 20 minutes a day to their business and somebody else that wants to devote 5 hours a day to their business and win it. That's not fair to anybody. So set the expectations. But so we did, once I got my team assembled, we did a call last Tuesday. We're doing a call every Tuesday through Team Cup. And so we also have a message thread going, obviously. And what I did was I got them we talked monthly goals, but we also talked weekly goals, because you have to reverse engineer it. It's so easy to say, my goal is going to be SC30 by the end of the month. And then guess what? It's August 15th and you're at 2 points. Like if it's SC30, let's just for simplicity's sake say SC40, but if it was SC40 and you've got 2 points and it's the 15th, it's much better to say, okay, if SC40 is your goal, you have to hit 10 by this Friday, the end of the first week. You've got to be at 20 by the end of the next week. And so every week you're checking in with where you are and where that initial goal was, and you're changing your goals up. Okay, you're modifying them as you need to. You're watching the leaderboard if you're in the running, and you're seeing exactly where everyone else is. So you've got to reverse engineer that end of month goal. There was something else I was just going to say about that, and I can't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me. So last but not least, what I want to talk about, and this is my fourth tip, is you have to plan your month. You have to plan it out and you have to have things to invite to. So one thing that we did, and I didn't say in the beginning that we came in, I love to say first place in the United States because it makes me feel better, but it was second place overall. Last year's Team Cup, fall 2016. So we have done pretty well. And so what we did that Team Cup, we weren't all putting challengers in the exact same challenge group. Some of my coaches already had their own challenge groups running, but for instance, this is a really great story to hear, and it's not necessarily mine either. So I had a brand new coach in July who I knew was going to crush it. Erin Hopkins, she's crushing it, right? She's my #1 top coach right now. She was brand new last July 1 year ago. And in August, I said, girl, I want you on my Team Cup team. And what she did was we started actually working Team Cup in July, mid-July. We started inviting like crazy. We started pushing. Don't feel like you're behind the 8 ball if you haven't done that. I haven't done that this go round. But she had a challenge group starting on August 3rd. So she lined everybody up. And on August 1st, she said, you know what, I'm going to do signups on August 1st. I'll be contacting you that morning. She hit Success Club 26 on August 1st, her second month as a coach. I've never done that. So that is the kind of strategy you have to have into place when I'm talking about laying out your month. So we had a challenge group that started right after the first that we invited to. And, again, if it's a little too late for that, just have it start maybe the 7th or the whatever, like, a week or two into August, and start inviting like crazy now. And then we had a challenge group at the end of the month to invite to. It was actually at the beginning of September, so that we got everybody locked in that very last week of August. The other thing that we did in the spring, because we had a challenge group start the 3rd week, and then I remember my team feeling like, well, gosh, I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and now the challenge group started. I don't have anything to invite to. So we started another challenge group, and we started a couples challenge group in February. I guess it was February. We started a couples challenge group. Everybody got super excited, because if you're going to do a couples challenge, you're thinking outside the box. You're thinking about inviting people that you would normally never invite, right? And so you've got to strategize that way. The other thing we have planned is a 3-day refresh. You can sell people into a 3-day refresh challenge pack, which I never sell people 3-day refreshes on their own, because unless they're a current customer on Shakeology, because so I used to own a juice company. I know how many people do cleanses for 3 days. They eat crap up until the 3-day cleanse. They 3-day cleanse, and then they're back to eating crap. That's why I don't even entertain. I've never told anyone that they can buy 3-day refresh on its own. I simply say, we're going to set you up with a 3-day refresh. It's amazing. It's $160, which is a great deal for a cleanse. And they are set up to continue. They have something to carry them forward with after their 3-day cleanse, because they have a bag of Shakeology. So think about that. Here's another push, you guys. First of all, round 2 of Shift Shot. So if you started round 1, you're pushing round 2 starting. And daily sunshine. I don't know exactly how my wheels are turning. about how I'm going to go about it, but I do know that I put up a post yesterday, and I'm creating a group, a 2-week group that's starting the first week of school, and it's going to be all about healthy kids lunches. And then the second week, and we're going to run it kind of like a workshop, I think. The second week of school, second week of the group, is going to be all about clean eating, super, super simple family recipes. Crock pot, you know, all these people are going back to school. They have kids in athletics after school. It's such a stressful time of year. It's so hard to fit health in. So I'm going to let all my people so if I'm talking to people about Daily Sunshine, I'm going to basically give them, say, you know what, because you're purchasing Daily Sunshine, I also am going to be able to, you'll also get access to this 2-week workshop that I'm doing. However, I'm also doing the flip side and just getting a lot of people in my 2-week workshop, and we will be talking a lot about Daily Sunshine. It won't be the main topic, but it'll 100% be in there, because if we're talking about how to squeeze health in during the school year, I mean, hello, like, send them off to school with Daily Sunshine, bring them home, and in between, or, you know, what can you take to the soccer field and shake in a bottle and give your kids in between soccer and gymnastics? So it's just amazing. I literally put up a post yesterday. I have like 80 people to put in the group, and the group's not starting for 2 weeks. So you have to plan your month out. Your team has to have a strategic monthly plan for Team Cup. That the challenge group starting here, 3-day refresh is starting here, the push for Daily Sunshine starting here, the next challenge group is starting here, so all of that stuff. So those are my 4 tips, you guys. Go big or go home. Go big or go home. Think about groups. Get everybody on a weekly thread, you know, weekly team calls. Set your weekly goals, your monthly goals. Set your goal to be double your PR. And then plan your month out. Plan it out to a T, okay? So every day you wake up, you know what you're inviting to. Free groups, challenge group, refresh, all that stuff. All right, you guys, that's it. Happy Friday, and this was really, really fun. I love nothing more than just passing on what has helped me to others. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.